Oh, I started to say, you know why? What I just said to you back a while ago about don't keep dealing with why did this happen and keep looking backwards. You gotta. What's happened in the past, you've got to cut it loose and let it go. But you know why some people are resistant to doing that is, I think sometimes we like to hold on to everything bad that's happened in the past, especially if it's somebody that did something to us. We like to hold on to that because it gives us sort of emotional money in the bank where now I've got a reason to feel like a victim, you see. But you know what I think Jesus is doing here when He put the mud on the guy's eyes and sent him to a pool called Sent and said, go wash it off. He's, in a way, we might say spiritually, symbolically saying, I want you to go and as an act of, because I'm telling you to do it, He is in a sense washing away who He used to be. He was the blind man. He's the man born blind. Jesus said, now I want you to go and wash all that away in the pool called Sent. And now He's going to come away from that somebody different than who He went there. He's having to wash away what happened in the past. And you know, I like to say it that way because guess what? Because I think that's a good thing for you and me to do. We need sometimes just to wash away what happened yesterday, what we did yesterday that we feel bad about, what other people did to us, especially that. We need to wash that away and just forget about it. Just forget about it and just move on with God. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't it be great if we could just move on with God, clear sailing ahead, and God can work everything out, and let's just forget about why that happened in the past. Maybe somebody did me wrong. Okay, sure, that's right. I could say the same thing. Maybe I did somebody else wrong. Sure, that's possible too, but let's just go on with God. How about that? Is that too liberating? I think that's good news. I think I'd like to say it that way. So the man goes to the pool, and he washes it off, and he comes back seeing. And the bottom line here is that this man got what he needed. He came again well. And maybe the most basic observation we can make about this passage is God wants us whole and He wants us well. He doesn't want us crippled or maimed or injured or incomplete in any area. He doesn't want us incomplete physically, spiritually, emotionally. What else is left? Financially, He wants us complete and whole and stable in all of those realms. And He knows how to do it. You'll believe that? He knows how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but He knows how to do it. And if you come to me, what I'm going to do is point you to Him. I'm going to refer you to the one who knows how to do it. I don't mind doing that. I'm happy to talk to everybody. I love to counsel with people. My counsel for everybody is, I know somebody who's got the answer to your problem. And let's just go to Him and get a hold of the answer. And it's very easy to get a hold of the answer. Just come, see, He said, come boldly to the throne of grace to obtain grace and mercy to help in any time of need. That means we go to obtain. We come boldly. We come not to go away empty-handed, but we come to obtain. Let's just go and say, I believe, I receive what I need. Now maybe that's too simple, but that's the way it works. Is that okay? That's how faith works. You just have to say, I believe, I receive it. Thank you. I might not feel any different, might not seem any different. I remember when I first became a Christian, I prayed a prayer like that and received Jesus. Now, I didn't look any different. I looked the same. My hair looked the same. My eyes looked the same. My nose looked the same. Everything seemed the same. But nevertheless, something changed. Nevertheless, God was at work in my life. And I'll be honest with you, it took a little while for that salvation that I received to begin to show up in my external life. It takes a little while. But nevertheless, I believed I received, and as I walked in the light of that faith that I believed I received, but as I walked in the light with it, you know, Jesus here said, I'm the light of the world. As I walked in the light of what I believed I received, God changed things in my life. I couldn't have done it. He did it. You know what I used to think a Christian meant was, what I used to think what it was to be a Christian was, there's this long list of things you're supposed to do. And I didn't want to do any of those things. And there's a long list of things you're not supposed to do. And some of those I thought were pretty good things to do. And so I thought, I can't be a Christian because I like doing all those things that at church they say you're not supposed to do. Wait a minute. Yeah, did I do that right? Anyway, I don't want to do the things they say you're supposed to do. And I want to do the things you say you're not supposed to do. I couldn't do it. You see, I didn't have the power to do it. But I found out there was somebody who could do it. And His name is Jesus. And as soon as I invited Jesus to come into my life, He changed my want-tos. He changed my desires. And let's just be honest, He didn't change. Everything didn't change instantly and overnight. But as I walked in the light with Him and walked in faith, little by little, everything changed. And it's still changing. Yeah. I'm like Paul. He said, I don't count that I've obtained, but I'm following after that which I've been apprehended by. So let's go on reading. This is what the man did. He went to the pool and he washed and he came again seeing. His neighbors, therefore, and they which had before seen him that was blind, said, Is not this he that had sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, No, he's like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore they said unto him, How were your eyes opened? And he said, Well, a man that's called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes. And he said to me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed and I received sight. He's just telling them how it happened. That's what he did. And then said they unto him, Where is he? I don't know. So I brought him to the Pharisees, him that aforetime was blind. And it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened their eyes. You know, this really riles the Pharisees. Have you noticed this? The last time he healed somebody at the pool, it was the Sabbath day. You know, I almost think Jesus does it on purpose this way. I almost think he's waiting. Wait a second, disciples. Tomorrow's the Sabbath. Let's go and do a miracle on this. But see, why does it rub them the wrong way that he does something good on the Sabbath day? Evidently, they are misunderstanding what the Sabbath day is all about. If you read about the origins of the Sabbath day, it goes back to Genesis. It goes back to Genesis chapter 2. After God had finished the creation in chapter 1, it starts chapter 2 and said, And thus the heavens and the earth were finished. They were finished. Well, who finished them? God finished them. Nobody helped him. You know, I heard somebody say the reason God made man last after everything else was because if he'd made man any sooner, man would have said, Let me help you with that. But God made it all without anybody's help. He didn't need our help, you see. He doesn't need our help. It was finished. And in that finished work, on the seventh day, after it was all finished, then it said God rested from His labors. God rested from what He had done in those other 6 days of creation. Why did He rest? Was it because God said, Oh man, you angels, I am so tired. Where's my easy chair? Somebody give me some lemonade. I can't do another thing. I've just got to sit down here. Is God like that? Does He get tired? No. Why did He rest? Because there was nothing left to do. Because He had finished it all. He had made a finished work and it was done and you couldn't improve on it. You couldn't make it better. You couldn't add to it. It was a God work from top to bottom, inside and out, a finished work. Nothing left to do. So rest means a cessation of work. That's what the Sabbath is. The Sabbath represents a situation in which God does everything and man doesn't do anything except just enter into it. Enter into it. I think, personally, this is why Jesus did all His mighty miracles on the Sabbath day, just to make the point. That, listen, folks, I don't need your help. I can do it all on my own. Just enter in. Just come in. You know, that's why Jesus gave that beautiful invitation. He said, Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and what? I will give you, what? Rest. He gives us the reality of what the Sabbath day and the law represents. Anyway, these Pharisees, they couldn't see that. It just really rubs them the wrong way. You know, in another situation, Jesus said, Listen, you Pharisees, you don't mind taking your donkey to get a drink of water on the Sabbath. You know, how much better is a man than an animal? How much better is a man? How much more important is your life than some animals running around out here? We're told that a sparrow can't fall from a tree without God's notice. God cares about everything that happens in this natural creation, but how much more important are you than a bunch of animals running around? If He cares about the birds falling out of the tree, don't you think He cares about you? That's true, and it's really true.